Hi guys, so time for a new scrawlrbox video, and I have to say I was quite excited when I received this box because it felt quite heavy and I wasn't disappointed. So yeah, jumping right into what was in the box. So a favorite thing of mine, alcohol-based markers, and these are style file markers, which I've never come across before, but seems at the first glance as a cheap version of a Copic marker, or at least a Copic marker knockoff, if you could say it like that. I don't know exactly how cheap they are, so I shouldn't say anything about that. And they are brush markers, so they have a nice brush tip and then the standard chisel tip. So quite excited about those and to test out what quality they are. And I got some nice colors here, so a warm gray 4 and warm gray 7 and a peacock green, which seems to be a bluish green color, so a nice range to get kind of to do the shading with. So yeah, and then I got this let me just see, this fine liner, which is a just a basic fine liner. What size is it? Oh, 0.5, which from SIG, which is actually the same brand as one we got, let me just see, in a previous scrawlrbox, the Sweet Sunday one, which was actually my first scrawlrbox, where we got one in purple. So, and as I remember, it was quite nice. It's water-based and seems to be quite, what do you call it? It can handle markers, water-based markers at least, without smearing, so great. And I was looking forward to trying that out. Always nice with a basic fine liner to the collection. So, and then we got this Mangata, again, SIG, flexible fine liner or brush pen, which also seems quite nice, so you can kind of make a broad line but also a fine line. So very excited to try that out as well. And it says that it's smudge proof with alcohol based markers or watercolors, so great. So yeah, excited about that as well. Then we got a, let me just find it, a Stabilo all surface pencil in white, which is supposed to work with almost any surface. So great for highlights, I'm thinking, and works with paper, glass, plastic, and metal as well. So yeah. And then the last thing, besides the paper anyways, is this graphite pencil wrapped in some kind of lacquer coating, so which is pretty nice, since so you don't get graphite all over your hands. And it's a 2B, and I've never seen anything like that before, so also quite excited to try that out. Yeah. And then we got some Bristol paper, 250 grams, which is awesome because that's the type of paper I usually use with my markers, with my Copic markers. Not this brand is Canson, and I don't believe I've tried that before, but at least from my experience, Bristol paper is great with alcohol-based markers. And as you can see, I've already tried out the different materials here on this paper. So yeah, moving on to the theme. So first of all, we had this cute artwork by Stina Jones in the same color palette, it seems, as we got here. And then the theme is Stranger Worlds, which is an awesome theme, I think, because it's quite up for interpretation. So yeah, so moving on to showing you what I did with the materials. So as always, I will do a review of the markers or the materials. And first of all, I want to say the reason why I've put this video out so late after receiving the scrawlrbox is that this is probably the scrawlrbox piece that took me the longest time to finish, but my own fault, because I included a lot of small details in it. So it took a lot of precision work to finish it. Anyways, so first of all, the markers, alcohol markers. So already when I tested them out on the extra piece of paper included, it was my impression that they actually blend together quite nicely. At least the two gray ones. I had some problems mixing the peacock green color with the others, but the two gray ones mixed beautifully. So regarding the nib of the markers, I always prefer a brush tip rather than a bullet tip. This one, compared to what I usually use, is quite soft, and I do prefer a more stiff, if you can call it that, brush marker tip, one that's less flexible than this. So, but that may just be, that's my personal preference, and may just be because I'm used to using Copic markers, which have a little bit of more rigid nib on it. So, but it is an excellent brush nib, I have to say, and the markers seem to be quite good quality, beautiful ink. They don't have the best coverage, as you can probably tell from the background. I had to go over it a few times to get a more even distribution of color, and I don't think I succeeded that much anyways, but it is also something I see with my Copic markers with the most translucent color shades of them, where you need to do several layers to get this, to get an even result. So I don't know if you do, I don't know the coloring or the codes of these. My peacock green was 610, so maybe you can get them, some of them with better coverage, but a beautiful color, and they're vibrant on the paper, at least the peacock green, and very nice to work with. Besides the softness of the brush nib, as I said. So, and very nice fine point at the end, so I could do all of the small detail work that I did on this piece. So yeah, thumbs up for these markers. And then what I actually started with was the black fine tip pen, which worked perfectly. It's nice and smooth to work with, and it didn't smudge with the markers, so I'll definitely be using that again. It is quite a big or thick size compared to what I usually work with, 0.5, but it will come in handy, I think. So moving on to the flexible black pen, I have to say I love that one. I love the brush type of nib it had, and that you can kind of vary the thickness of the line, which gives a nice result, I think, when you line your pieces with that instead of just regular fine liner result. I think that it gives a more arty feel to it, if you can call it that. And it also has very nice coverage and a very black color. And I ended up kind of retracing my lines at the end just to make them pop more and also to test it. And yeah, I really like this pen. So I'll definitely be using that again. Yeah, the graphite pencil thingy was very nice to work with. I was surprised that it wasn't more soft compared to the fact that it's 2B. It felt to me more like a 2H, but that may just be the paper. And I used it, I didn't use it to do my sketch, but I used it to trace it. And it does feel quite well to work with. And I love the fact, this coating on it, so you don't get, yeah, as I said, you don't get dirty using it. And you can easily sharpen it again. So yeah, I do think I'll be using that again as well. And then moving on to the white pencil. This seemed great for highlights. I have to say I was expecting better coverage with it, so you would get kind of a more clear white color. But it worked well with this Bristol board or Bristol paper, which is very smooth, so it can be difficult to get white highlights with color pencils. And it did work well on that. And I think I'll definitely be using it again for highlights, at least on different type of papers. And the Bristol paper seemed to be very nice quality. The markers blended well on it, and it didn't have the tendency. I've tested out quite a bit of different brands of Bristol paper just to kind of get the one, yeah, the perfect one for me at least. And some of the issues I've had with some of the brands is that the markers or the ink from the markers has a tendency to feather. So when you color just exactly to the line, it will feather and move on to kind of extend beyond that line, which is quite annoying. And you feel that you can't control your ink very well. And this paper didn't have that. It seemed to be very nice with regards to that, yeah. And yeah, I really felt that it is quite a good quality. So thumbs up for that as well. Yeah, and I think that was about it for the materials for this piece. I hope you like my piece. It was inspired by the last scrawlrbox with the cosmic landscape, because I kind of imagined these things that I drew being out in space and being some kind of maybe planets or creatures or something like that. It's open for interpretation, but is actually they are inspired by neurons. So yeah, that's just kind of a fun fact, if you can call it that. But yeah, hope you like it, and see you soon for a new video. Bye!